You've been told that women fall in love slowly, emotionally, and unpredictably. But what if that's only half the truth, and the part most men miss is the only part that actually matters? Because here's what no one tells you. A woman doesn't fall in love with you because you're nice, available, or trying hard. She falls in love because of how you make her feel when you're not even trying. And that difference changes everything. Most men spend their time chasing attention, trying to impress, saying the right things. But attraction doesn't work like a checklist. It's not logical, it's emotional, and more importantly, it's subconscious. Pay attention to this part. A woman begins to fall for you the moment her emotions start associating you with something deeper than just conversation. Not surface-level interest, not small talk. Something internal, something she can't quite explain. It's subtle at first. A shift in tone, a longer pause before she replies, a smile she didn't plan. And here's where it gets interesting. She won't even realize it's happening, because attraction for her isn't a decision. It's a gradual emotional pull, like a song getting stuck in her head without her choosing it. Now think about this. Why do some men barely try and still have women drawn to them, while others do everything right and get ignored? It's not looks, it's not money, and it's definitely not effort alone, it's emotional impact. Most men don't realize this, but women don't fall in love with what you say. They fall in love with the experience of being around you. That feeling becomes addictive. Let me show you how this actually unfolds. At the beginning, she's observing, quietly. She's not just listening to your words, she's reading your energy, your reactions, your presence. Are you calm or reactive? Are you grounded or seeking validation? Do you need her attention, or do you give it freely without depending on it? This stage is everything. Because attraction doesn't grow from pressure. It grows from curiosity. And curiosity only exists when something feels slightly out of reach. Here's the mistake most men make. They try to remove uncertainty too quickly. They over-explain, over-text, over-show interest. And in doing that, they kill the very tension that creates attraction. Because when everything is obvious, there's nothing left to feel. But when there's a little mystery, a little space, her mind starts filling in the gaps. She starts wondering, and that's the moment things begin to shift. You see, women don't fall in love through logic. They fall in love through emotional progression. First curiosity, then intrigue, then emotional connection, and only after that, attachment. But here's the part no one explains properly. That emotional connection doesn't come from telling her everything about yourself. It comes from making her feel understood without needing to explain herself. Think about that. When she talks, are you just responding, or are you actually seeing her? Because when a woman feels truly seen, not judged, not analyzed, just understood, something opens up inside her. And she doesn't experience that often. That's where you become different. That's where you stand out. But don't misunderstand this. It's not about agreeing with everything she says. It's about having the emotional intelligence to recognize what she's really feeling beneath her words. Here's an example. She says, "I'm just tired of people wasting my time." Most men will respond logically, but what she's really saying is, "I don't trust easily anymore." If you respond to that instead of the surface statement, you connect on a deeper level, and she feels it instantly. This is how emotional bonds start forming, quietly, naturally, without forcing anything. Now here's where it becomes powerful. Once she starts associating you with emotional comfort and subtle excitement at the same time, her brain begins to prioritize you, not consciously, but emotionally. She starts thinking about you randomly. A song reminds her of you. A moment during her day triggers your memory, and she doesn't even know why. That's not coincidence, that's emotional imprinting, and this only happens when your presence isn't predictable. Consistency matters, yes, but predictability kills attraction. There's a difference. Consistency is being grounded in who you are. Predictability is being easy to figure out. Women are drawn to emotional depth, not emotional availability on demand. Let that sink in. If she always knows exactly how you feel, exactly what you're going to say, exactly how you'll respond, there's no discovery left. And without discovery, there's no excitement. Without excitement, there's no emotional growth. So what do you do instead? You stay real. But you don't reveal everything at once. You allow her to experience you in layers, because every layer she uncovers creates a new emotional response, and each response pulls her in deeper. Now here's something most men completely overlook. The way you handle your own emotions directly influences how she feels about you. If you're easily shaken, constantly seeking reassurance, or reacting to every small shift in her behavior, she feels unstable around you. Not because of her, because of you, but when you remain calm, centered, and in control of yourself, even when things are uncertain, you create emotional safety. And emotional safety is one of the strongest triggers for a woman to fall in love. Not comfort, not boredom, safety. There's a difference. Comfort is passive, safety is active. It's the feeling that she can be herself without losing your respect, and that you won't lose yourself trying to keep her. That balance is rare, and rare is attractive. Now let's go deeper. At some point, if everything aligns, she reaches a stage where she starts investing emotionally. This is critical, because once she invests, she starts attaching. But here's the twist. She won't invest if she feels like she already has you completely. Read that again. If you're too available, too predictable, too eager, there's nothing for her to move toward. And without movement, there's no emotional progression. Love requires progression. It requires moments of uncertainty, followed by clarity. Distance, followed by connection. Silence, followed by meaning. That contrast is what makes emotions feel real. Now think about your interactions. Are they flat and constant, or do they have rhythm? Because rhythm creates emotional memory, and emotional memory builds attachment. Here's where most men get it wrong again. The moment they feel her getting closer, they rush in. They try to lock it down, define it, secure it. But that pressure disrupts the natural flow, and she pulls back. Not because she's not interested, but because the emotional pace changed too suddenly. You went from connection to control, and control suffocates attraction. Instead, what you need to do is trust the process. Let her come toward you, match her energy, but don't chase it. Because when she feels like she's choosing you, not being convinced, her feelings become stronger, more real, more lasting. And here's the part that changes everything. A woman falls in love not when you give her everything she wants, but when she feels like being with you reveals a version of herself she didn't know she had. That's powerful, because now it's not just about you. It's about how she experiences herself through you. More alive, more understood, more emotionally engaged. And once she connects you to that feeling, you're no longer replaceable. That's when love becomes real. Not forced, not rushed, but deeply rooted. Now let's close the loop from the beginning. Remember when I said women don't fall in love because you try hard? This is why. Because effort without emotional awareness feels empty. But presence, awareness, emotional control, that creates impact. And impact is what she remembers. Not your words, not your attempts, but how she felt in the moments that mattered. So if you take anything from this, let it be this. Stop trying to make her like you. Start creating experiences that she feels. Because in the end, attraction isn't built on what you do. It's built on what she feels when she's with you, and what she can't stop feeling when you're not. And once that happens, you won't have to ask if she's falling for you. You'll see it in the way she looks at you, in the way she listens, in the way she stays, quietly, naturally, completely. And that's something most men will never understand. But now you do. So the next time you interact with her, don't focus on saying the perfect thing. Focus on being the kind of presence she doesn't experience every day. Because that's where it begins, and that's what she never forgets.